let's get into the juicy and practical caregiving success plan strategies. After all, that's why I've invited you to come here tonight. So let's get into these four strategies that I wanted to share with you. The first step is to embrace the choice you are making to serve as a caregiver. Embrace the choice you're making to serve as a caregiver. I cannot, initially when I jumped into the role myself and my dad had that catastrophic heart failure incident, okay, I jumped in as an only child and I didn't really view myself as having a choice. I felt it to be my duty. I needed to do that. I should do that. When I was getting up every day to do things for them, it seemed like a need. But you know what? I really was making a choice to serve. I've worked with other caregivers, and one of the reasons they feel so down, this is really a mindset issue, is they feel trapped. They feel like they don't have a choice other than to step up to the place to serve, in place to serve. But the bottom line is you do have a choice. You're making a choice. If you wake up in the morning and you make a choice. I mean, you may have your morning routine, but you can choose whether to engage in your morning dressing routine or not. You choose what you wear, hopefully, brushing your teeth, all of those things. We make choices. You're making a choice to serve. And I think that's so important. And from mindset, one of the things that I find is that when we think in choice language, which is I choose to, okay, it's so much more energizing than I have to, I must, or I should. In fact, when we say I have to, I must, or I should statements are so negative, not just to use with others, but even to use with ourselves, because we set ourselves up with judgment about what we should be doing. But if you realize and proudly state that you're choosing to engage another day, and I know maybe feeling gratitude may be hard because I know when you're in the midst of caring for a loved one that's going through some very, very scary challenges. And believe me, I had dark days when I thought that the dark clouds of doom were hanging over our home because just when I thought we were making progress, another major setback would come my mom's way, and that would lead to more in-depth support. And for me to get involved in, in-depth care support and some medical type treatments that I never would have expected that I would step into doing. But when I looked at this as I'm choosing to do this, and in fact, I will say too, even from my own experience, my mother several times, because she cared about me, wondered if, in fact, I'll come back on screen again because I just want to say this. And my mom on a few occasions would say to me, "Are you sure that you don't want to put me into a home?" And I remember saying to her, no. I mean, I was proud to keep her in her home to help her age in place and to have the dignity of living in her home. But I made sure to ask her, I said, well, do you want to go in a home? Because the bottom line is the person that you're supporting should get to choose where they want to be too. And she said, oh, no, no, I just want to make sure. But I think sometimes she could see the weight and the burden that was happening to me. She was with me after my dad passed. I was still caring for her, and I had a very painful bout of shingles. So she knew the toll. But once I started to change my mindset, and I've seen this with other caregivers as well, and this is easier said than done, when you realize you're making a choice and you alone are making that choice to step up each day and do the things that you do, it's a much more energetic and powerful way to approach the day. You actually look at yourself and your experience in a much more positive way rather than a have to. Because the bottom line is you didn't. I didn't have to continue. Other caregivers I've worked with could make a choice to have their loved one go into a nursing home or have a different care situation. Okay. You don't have to, there may be consequences. There may be financial issues involved and other things. There can be consequences, but I really, really want to hammer home the point. Practical caregiving resources are waiting for you at caregivingwithoutregret.com.